All right. So essentially, we have done this by using sections, progress bar, right? So you see at the bottom of your program of your screen that tells you, okay, you are about what 25% down. That way you have there's a sense of expectation in terms of where you are going with this form you're filling, rather than just scrolling down, 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 and so forth. So if you're adding sections, add a progress bar, makes the experience better. Okay. All right, we're going to speed it up. We're going to speed it up. Any questions on this? Are we getting something? Is it making sense? Is it making sense? All right, I'm going to do another quick one. I'm going to do an invitation to an upcoming conference. I'm going to do that. But before I do that, I'll once again go through the slides and just take a breather. All right. This is actually the deep dive section, but I've used some of the features that I've talked about. I will talk about question types, that some are free text. You can have short text, long text. I'll demonstrate that. Multiple choice, you can have radio buttons, checkboxes. I showed that in the previous demo. Date and time, and I'll show that in the next form I will demonstrate, which is for consultants, right? File upload as well, then rating scales, right? And so forth. So I'm going to show some of these question types. Then we talk about using sections. Make sure you use the section title that fits the description of the section. Describe the section so that you can tell the person what you are trying to get in those set of questions. You can also delete the sections, but when you do that, you need to choose whether you're deleting the questions in the section together with the section or just the section header. Very important. Okay. You can also add photos, videos, import questions, and I showed that, and I'm going to also demonstrate it. Yes. Yeah, so at the end of this, because of time, we're not going to be able to do our exercise in this call, but I will encourage you after the call. I'll also send it by email so that you can do your own design and submit and let us know what it is like. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to do a little bit of advanced stuff. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to demonstrate one for a consultant that is receiving clients. And I'm now going to also do one for a social worker or missionary who is going into the hinterland to have conversations with remote people who cannot fill the form themselves. And I'm going to do something about path for capturing titles. Hope we have enough time for that. But let's do just going very quickly. All right. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to use this to also introduce something called add-ons. Something called add-ons. Now, because of time, I'm not going to have the opportunity to go through the full cycle of deploying add-ons, but it's quite straightforward for the most part. In order to do it, I'm going to use another account, right? So because I already have my add-ons done, right? So I'm going to switch accounts and go to this account start file. So this is a different account. You don't have all the fancy stuff that I already have on my own profile. Watch this. Watch that. Probably this is what you see in your profile. In my profile, because I've added a few add-ons, I have a booking calendar, I have certificate issuer add-on, and I have a form notifications add-on. Now, the purpose of add-ons is like a small piece of code that you embed or combine with Google Forms to allow you to do more sophisticated things, like sending notifications, like issuing certificates, like attaching your calendar. So I'm just going to show you how to quickly install an add-on if you don't have it. And then I'm going to use that add-on, the booking add-on, in my next demo. So this is this. So if you see this small, we call it ellipsis, it just tells you that there's something more that you can see in this drop down. I hope you can see my mouse, everybody. Just type yes in the chat. Yes in the chat, yes in the chat. Can I get 3 yeses? Are we paying attention? Awesome, thank you. Yes, 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 yes. 2 yeses, 1 more yes, okay. Yes, yes, thank you. So if you click this ellipsis, you'll be able to do a lot of things. Like you can actually make a copy of this form and edit it separately, right? Maybe I do it a lot because I do a lot of forms. So instead of starting from the beginning, I can duplicate a form and then add new questions or, change questions, change the format, etc. if I want to do that. I can get a refill link. I can print it. It looks like a PDF. I can add collaborators. This means that I want somebody else to be able to administer this form for me. And that is how I got those sections where you see, if I go back here to my list of forms, you see all this. You see there are some forms that are shared, not owned by me. They were shared with me. So when you add a collaborator, that means you're sharing the form with somebody for that person to be able to administer it. And this is very important for organizations because, as you're growing, you have to delegate. You create the form is yours, but maybe you want your PA to administer the form. When you say administer, not to be able to share it, but not to be able to fill it, but to be able to maybe add new questions, right? To be able to see the responses. Very important, right? You want your PA to see the responses. You need to add collaborators. That's the purpose of that, add collaborators. And then finally, where we are, get add-ons. So when I click get add-ons here, there are so many add-ons you can get, so many things you can do with Google Forms using additional applications, so many. So you just have to search for what you want. In this case, we want a booking calendar, right? And I search for it, and I see the booking calendar. There are many different options, but I've used this one, so I'm going to use it. Booking calendar apps vetted by it tells you who did it, how many people have downloaded it. Sometimes that indicator is just like Play Store. It indicates to you how acceptable the app is. So I'm just going to click on it. All right. When I click on it, I'm going to install it, right? And that's it. That's all. That's it, basically. Something is wrong, right? Forget that. Forgive me. Okay, we're not going to troubleshoot that because of time. But what I'm going to do is probably because I switched accounts. I'm just going to go back to my account. I'll install another one just to show you the process, right? So remember, we're doing a new form. So I click on this and I do install add-ons, get add-ons. And let me do something else. Generate Google Slides. Because I already have that one I was trying to do, I'm going to just do this one just to show you the process. Form publisher install. Okay. So here you need to authenticate. You need to say this is me because you are installing an application, essentially. You're installing an application. So you need to tell Google that it's really you, not somebody trying to do something without your knowledge. So you're going to review the permissions you're giving the guy and then allow it. When you do the allow, when you do that, you can see that you now have, instead of install, you have uninstall, right? Because I don't really need this form, I can come back and uninstall it. So there's the close button. I close this back. If I come back here to my add-ons list, I'll see the form publisher as part of my add-ons. I can decide that I want to uninstall it because I don't really need it. I was just doing it for demo purposes. So forms publisher. I click on this. I have the option to uninstall. So I remove it, uninstall app, right? What I don't need, I uninstall it. So it's done, it's finished. I don't have it anymore in my list of add-ons, but I have the ones that I want. I have the booking calendar, right? Right? And so forth. So let me refresh that. Okay, so in order to use the booking calendar, I'm going to ask a few questions, and part of the questions I'll ask is a date to make a booking. So I'm going to make this one simple because of time, right? First of all, I'm going to repeat the things I've done before. So I'll put my header image. This is for kennethigiri.com. This is the visitors form, right? Client bookings, okay? And I say, please use this form to book appointments with Kenneth, okay? Or whatever else you want to type. I'll just make it look nice. Sorry, the header. Make it look nice as I mentioned before. Line bookings. Notice that I can be more sophisticated with this by changing the boldness settings, right? Be more sophisticated. I don't want pink, I want blue, right? I want background to be blue. I want the questions, maybe I'll select Oswald this time around. Oswald normal. And then the text should be Oswald X light, okay? So question one, again, first name. I mentioned earlier that I like to use first name, last name because when I'm doing something like sending automated emails, I want to address people by their first name rather than their complete first name, last name, right? Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to import some questions from the previous form that we did. So I'm going to say import questions from diapers are us. Okay, select it, loading form. So I'm going to import First name, last name, phone number. I don't need address, right? I don't need all the specifics about brand. I import the section for thank you. I import this about you, import question 7. So, okay. So we're done. Okay. So I have first name and this about you. In the about you, I already have first name, so I don't need this anymore, right? If I needed it, I could have carried it into the section, right? Could have carried it here. Can you see the carry? That's small 4 squares. You can use it to carry, move questions about, right? Okay, but I don't need it, so I'm just going to click the delete button for the question. Right, now please tell me, are you following so far? Are we together? Does it make sense? Are you getting value? Please respond. I need to know you're following. Awesome. Elizabeth is following. You following? Anybody else following? Elizabeth, Lisa is following. Who else is here? All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, Prosper is following too. Also, I hope you like the import too. See, it makes things easier. Okay, so once we have that, I don't need how many children. So I'm going to take that away, right? I'm going to take that away. I'm going to delete that, right? I don't need full address. This is just for a booking. So I'm going to delete that. I need first name, last name, phone number. And then I need another section where the booking can happen. Your booking. First of all, I need to know what date do you want? Preferred date, okay? This is a date that is a drop down, right? It's a date that is a drop down menu, preferred date, right? And then maybe I want to talk about key issues. Because I know the kind of my consulting is very focused. Maybe I want to have a list of checkboxes and say LinkedIn visibility, right? Yeah, whatever. And I want to, maybe I want to say interactive ideation session, etc., right? Or maybe both. So I use the checkbox. Okay. Yeah. So preferred date now. What I'm going to do in order to populate this preferred date drop down, I'm going to use my add-on. So I go to my add-on booking calendar. I configure booking calendar. You see that the configure came up because I now have a question that has a drop down date. Right? Are we together? Okay. Yeah. Okay, I don't see cap here anymore. It's fine. All right, so which calendar do I want? I have several calendars because I've configured several calendars. I'm not going to go into that because of time, but you select the calendar that you want. In this case, maybe I want an IS calendar. And the reason why it makes sense to have the calendar is because, let me see. Is because there'll be times when I want to dedicate the calendar for a particular booking purpose, right? Now, I've not done an email field, so I'm going to add an email field. Remember, I just go to settings and select responses, collect email address. Okay. So I can do that now. I'll come back, I'll reconfigure that next. Okay. So let me come back to that. Yeah, so it has picked up the collect email addresses field, configuration. So see that, let me look at whether I can still select my other calendars. For some reason, it's not picking up my other calendars, but I can't troubleshoot that now. So I just stick with the email the primary calendar. Now, so it picks up this calendar, picks up the email address, and then it's trying to pick up my calendar settings. It should come around. And then I decide this is the drop down. So preferred date is the question that is associated with this add-on, right? And then I selected choice. How do I want this choice to look like? I want it to look like maybe the title, start date details and all that. And I save that. When I save that, it should populate this with those details. Please stop it on unnecessary forms. Okay, let me see that. Okay.